YouTube, welcome, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are. Today, I wanted to look into PlayStation's pulling away from PC, NBA 2K not working on PlayStation, and many more. So let's get into it. This is from IGN. I'll share the link at the end of it and give my opinions. Let you
Welcome
know
back
how
to
I'm
Next Gen
feeling.
Console Watch, our show following the latest gaming hardware. I'm Damon Hatfield, and as always, I'm joined by Max Scoville, host of Podcast Beyond, and Ryan McCaffrey, host of Podcast Unlocked. And this week, a new report claims that both Ghost of Yotei and Saros will remain exclusive to PlayStation 5 as Sony begins to pull back from PC. So Bloomberg says that while Sony will continue to release online games on PC, single-player games will now remain console exclusive, marking a significant strategy shift. Sony has been releasing its games on PC sometime after they hit console. This new policy marks a return to console exclusivity at a time when console rival Microsoft is all in on multi-platform. So that would mean we should expect to see fighting game Marvel Tokon on PC, and of course Bungie's extraction shooter Marathon remains a multi-platform release. Meanwhile, the Sony published but externally developed Death Stranding 2 and Kena Scars of Cosmora will launch on PC, but plans to release Sucker Punch's Ghost of Yotei were recently scrapped, according to Bloomberg. Bloomberg also suggests
I think they'll bring Ghost of Yotei, seeming that it was so late to be, but they probably want time to fix the port over to PC.
poor recent sales of PlayStation games on PC and the risk to the PlayStation brand, as well as a potential impact on PS5 and maybe even PS6 sales, were to blame for the policy shift. Meanwhile, and this is particularly interesting, I think, the prospect of PlayStation games running on the next Xbox, which looks like it will run PC games, may have
That's my biggest theory. Is the fact that the Xbox Helix project, if y'all don't know, the new Xbox coming out, that one is supposed to be able to play PC games along with Xbox games. So that being said, PlayStation probably worried like, then you'll be able to play the PlayStation on Xbox. So what's the point of buying a PlayStation?
encourage Sony's return to console exclusives. There's no mention of Marvel's Wolverine in the report, but a PC launch now seems possibly unlikely. And if this change in policy doesn't seem like that big a deal, let me just list this out. In recent years, PlayStation has allowed PC gamers access to Spider-Man 1 and 2, plus Miles Morales, Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, Returnal, Beyond Two Souls, Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us Part 1 and 2, Days Gone, God of War 2018, and Ragnarok, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, Uncharted, Legacy of Thieves Collection, Stellar Blade, and Until Dawn. So quite a few games. Let's go to Max first this week. If this report is accurate, what do you think might be causing PlayStation to change its policy of bringing games to PC after a period of exclusivity on console?
Well, Occam's razor, I think it's just to say
That, and also with PC hardware getting more and more expensive, they probably figure it's easier for people to be able to buy the PlayStation, play on the PlayStation, than it'll be to put together a PC or buy a new PC, wait a year to play the game, which then it loses hype. Players, people don't want to play it, they forget about it. So those might be a couple of the theories. Let's see.
save money. You know, as much as it does seem like they're leaving money on the table because these games are already made and porting them seems like less work than developing new games from the ground up, it is still a sizable cost to port an entire game to a new platform. Secondary, you know, they want to drive traffic to PS5. Sony has historically been a hardware company. They make consoles, they sell consoles, and they want people to buy those consoles. And if they can play them on non-Sony hardware, if they can play them on PC, that isn't really, you know, helping support their bread and butter. And I can't imagine that anyone at Sony was too thrilled to see footage of the Asus ROG Ally Xbox version playing Sony games, which was, of course, the first thing so many people threw on to try to test it out, just because it is sort of vaguely ironic seeing that. And the prospect of Microsoft leaning into this whole hybrid ecosystem, yeah, that's got to be a threat to be like, oh, suddenly people don't need to buy a PlayStation to play PlayStation games.
And that's their big thing. They're not going to be able to sell the PlayStation Portal if you could play PlayStation games on this portal. They need to stay and make their money. So they bring back exclusives, only keep it on the PlayStation, keep the money there. Maybe make their portal, PlayStation Portal better, and then maybe invest in some other peripherals.
You know, we've seen the PS5 is doing just great sales wise, but at the same time, we are also seeing it go up in price, which is kind of an anomaly compared to previous generations. So right now it would seem they're really trying to kind of just give people a reason to pay that money, really making it worth that premium, because there is that mindset when we're expecting a PC port, then if you've already got a PC, you don't have a PlayStation, you're like, well, I'll just wait. I'll wait till it comes to PC. It's like, movies in theaters. You're like, I'll wait till it hits streaming.
Sure. Yeah. There's also the fact that it might be a case of diminishing returns, because Helldivers 2 was a huge hit on Steam, bigger than on PS5, and that first wave of PlayStation games coming to Steam were big, like Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, and even Days Gone did surprisingly well. But it seems like maybe the novelty of PlayStation on PC has worn off. The excitement over PlayStation exclusives coming to PC has cooled a bit. Is there anything to that?
Definitely something to that. I also think that Sony shot themselves in the foot a little bit by making a PlayStation Network account mandatory to play even single-player games. That was the thing that...
Yeah, making gamers do an extra step to play a game, it will be probably one of the worst things you can do. Less steps, more gamers. That's how that works.
Rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And had that been in effect when Helldivers 2 launched, I don't think that would have been anywhere near as much of a success, because the legality of having a PlayStation account is kind of a tricky rat's nest in a number of parts of the world. Like, if you just live in certain territories, it's not a thing you can do there, or it's doesn't work with certain credit cards.
Well, that's something new I didn't know, but yes, apparently in other places it's harder to use PlayStation Network or pay for certain things on PlayStation Network, which I guess makes sense. Currency exchanges, debit cards, banks. So
from certain territories, it's just the whole. Again, it's also signing up for a thing and giving your personal information into an ecosystem that has a bit of a history of getting, leaked or hacked or whatever. So, yeah, there are some hurdles there. I think diminishing returns, maybe. I mean, I think it's kind of case by case. It depends on the games. There wasn't obviously that novelty of playing some of the best games to come out of the PS4 generation that had been hyped up for a decade and change, to play those on PC with.
That's the other thing. They have to move forward. Let the PlayStation 4 go. Move forward to PS5. Nintendo's already did that with PlayStation 2. Xbox is probably going to do that with their exclusive. I mean, it's harder for them, I guess, because they'll be with PC. But I guess if they stop sending their things to PlayStation, they can be exclusive. So,
beautiful top-of-the-line versions. There's a thrill there. There's also the fact that they were, on occasion, kind of hit and miss. You had a few that were extremely buggy at launch that I don't think PC gamers were too happy about.
There's also just fewer games in recent years that you could potentially bring over. So there's
also, you working on a PlayStation game, like they're working on that hardware for the PlayStation, make sure it works. And then they got a secondary team working on the port for the PC, because originally it's not built for the PC, it's built for the PlayStation. Now they'll save money and time, resources, people, not to do these ports, and maybe be more efficient with their single player exclusive games, which is what we want. We don't really want any more live service, battle pass, break your wallet type games. We need good story, captivating storyline, action, a difference in what we've been getting.
Worry that releasing games on PC devalues the PlayStation 5. Ryan, has this happened to Xbox with all of its cross-platform releases?
Well, it certainly hasn't helped, at least in the sense of moving Xbox hardware, but Microsoft certainly has seen success on other platforms. We seem to bring up our favorite example, Forza Horizon 5 doing great on PS5 3 years after it had come out on Xbox. But, I wonder if, at the end of the day, it's money, right? Like, Helldivers 2 did...
Xbox sending their games to PlayStation is just a move to get more money, because they knew their consoles wasn't selling. They knew that people couldn't really build the games they wanted to on their hardware. So, make what you can, get what you can, then do what you can. That's basically their motto. And now they're going to try to put their console, make it more exclusive, say, hey, we got better graphics now, their games will probably not come back to PlayStation either. They're probably going to go exclusive as soon as they drop their new console.
Great, because I think probably in large part because it was a day and date release. Pretty much everything we're talking about, and you mentioned it at the top, Damon, is these first-party Sony games are coming to PC well after the fact, and I think that's part of it. Because if I recall, you may have the data there, Damon. I believe the part of this report was that they're just allegedly not selling that well on PC. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, that's what according to the report. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, if Microsoft is doing day and date for PC for everything, and Sony isn't, why, and obviously they're doing that to try and keep people purchasing PlayStations and playing on the PlayStation console. So I think Sony, they probably feel like what they're doing now is kind of an in-between step that's not really working, and that they either need to pull back from PC completely or go all in and go with day one. And they have clearly chosen the Nintendo route of
I would say they probably looked at how well Resident Evil did. Resident Evil Requiem sold well. People loved the game, single player game, and they figured we can make the good single player games, put it on the PlayStation, and just keep making money that way.
Let's just keep all of our first party stuff on our devices. And I can't disagree with the choice. I mean, we have data that shows that the audience, that PC is growing as a market and console isn't.
Right.
So this move sounds pretty defensible today, but I do wonder, in 5 years, I'm not saying Microsoft will suddenly be doing better than PlayStation.
When PC parts go down, Xbox does fairly well within the next 2 years of releasing good games everybody wants to play. There's a possibility PlayStation go back to putting their games back on the PC. But I think right now, biggest theory for me is that the PlayStation is scared to have their games on the PC because they'll be able to be played on the Xbox when it comes out, since they'll be able to play both Xbox games and Steam games.
In terms of their console and software sales, but in 5 years from now, I do wonder, with PC growing and console not so much, if Sony's gonna still feel good about this decision down the road.
Do you think, Ryan, everything that we've heard about what the next Xbox could be, being very open, playing PlayStation games, playing PC games, and playing PlayStation games that were released on PC, do you think that could have spooked Sony away?
Maybe. I mean, at the end of the day, it's money. So if they were going to continue to not release their games, their first-party games their single-player first-party games on PC until a...
And thinking about it, right, if they were to continue to release their exclusive games a year later on PC, would you charge more, right? Not the player, but the third party, right? So would you charge them more money? So say they get 30% from whatever the game is when you buy it on Steam. Instead of 30, it's 45, because I know that people are going to play it on what supposedly my competitors counsel. I mean, I probably would just pull out altogether, wait and see what it's looking like, because I'm guessing with their numbers, their stability for players and being able to just have exclusives on their console is very good.
Year or more later, I don't think they would care too much about people playing them on the next Xbox that can also play PC games. But there's certainly there's maybe, if they're looking at the long tail version of that, of maybe over time people choose to just go with the Xbox PC hybrid rather than PlayStation. But now I I think it's just purely I think it's more of a money decision than a sort of corporate ego, for lack of a better term, decision.
Yeah, I don't think it's corporate ego either. I think it's got to be money.
Max, there's also
They're seeing a loss in money.
the
That's
Steam
what it
machine of
is.
it all. The forthcoming Steam machine. Also, theoretically, it could be a new box you could put under your TV. You could use that instead of a PlayStation 5.
Oh, it's now the what's that? The Steam box or Steam Deck or that new square box that's also like a Steam PC. So again, you're selling exclusive PlayStation games on Steam. They don't have to buy the PlayStation. And the biggest thing right now is that they need them to buy the PlayStation. They're building games on that software. So it's
To
about
play a
the
lot of
money.
these games that are released there. Do you think that's also something that Sony's worried about?
I think it's definitely on their radar. It's something to consider. The big thing is so many people on PC are already part of the Steam ecosystem. That's already where they play their games. That's where their library is. That's where their games are. If people don't have to, jump into.
I saw a post. Take it with a grain of salt, because till it's confirmed, we don't know. I saw a post, $700-800 in this economy. For your first Steam box hybrid console PC. It's I'd say 700, 600. That's around the price I would sit this at. But I want to look into this. If anybody else is interested, just let me know in the comments. But gotta be worried
sign
about
up for
that.
PSN, buy a PS5 to play games, and they can just kind of cherry pick what they want and play it on Steam.
460.
That's great, but
4060.
that's not
It's
bring
crazy.
anybody new in, to the PlayStation side of things. And the Steam machine is a threat exactly because of that, because people don't have to buy into a new system. They're already there. They already have that. It's just a new way to play that. And I think same goes for the appeal of the Xbox PC hybrid.
I can't wait to see what people do, customizing this thing, because it looks cool, kind of. But I could see them customizing it. I could also see the memes about it, too. So
Whatever they decide to call it, because again, there's that confidence that stuff in the future will be coming to this device, but at the same time, you already have this massive backlog, and this is just an exciting new way to, well, probably not actually play your backlog, but a new way you could play it hypothetically.
So Sony pulling back from PC, not official, but according to this report, is something that Sony's planning. Ryan, the new CEO of Xbox, says they will recommit to Xbox and console beyond what they've already released and announced for PlayStation. Do you think Xbox will want to rethink exclusivity as we move into the next generation?
I don't think they're in a strong enough position to do that, quite frankly. I think at most that might mean that they pull back from PS5 and later PS6 releases for some amount of time, which they're already doing for some games like Forza Horizon 6, but not others like Fable. But I think the day and
yeah, like I said, at some point, I feel like if Xbox gets their footing right with this next release of the Xbox Helix, they could possibly pull out a PC as well and try to put their games more exclusively on the Xbox to force people to buy it. But then that also begs the question, how limited the Game Pass become, right, for the PC? Because then you're saying, I need more numbers buying my console, my hardware. So would they pull it from PC? Y'all let me know in the comments.
date on PC strategy is
Xbox
probably
follow
not going
suit?
anywhere for Microsoft, but it's possible that they might try to make make it a little bit more exclusive if you're a console gamer than where it is now.
Well, viewers, listeners, all this talk of console exclusivity, we want to know, do you wait to play?
So my biggest theory is PlayStation doesn't want to lose money to just absolutely not being able to sell hardware, because they'll be able to games will be able to be played on everything. With that being said, is it the best thing for them to do? Time will tell. Will Xbox follow suit? I don't know. It's a possibility. They get their footing right. They could end up pulling from PC. Not everything, but it may be limited to certain things. And if PC parts get more expensive, then honestly, this is the best route, because then consoles are cheaper than the PC, but games are being better developed for these consoles. Now, let me know in the comments. Is it about the money? Is it about anything, any other theory? And we'll get into it.
Play console games on your PC? Or do you just want to play it first wherever it is? Maybe you own both console and PC. Make sure to vote in our poll on IGN.com the day this episode goes live. You can also vote in a poll on Spotify.
There you go. Like the video right there. I'll put the link in the description. But it's IGN. They do their work sometimes here and there. All right, next thing I want to talk about is, because I personally have this issue playing on the PlayStation 5 Slim, is PlayStation, let me see, PlayStation 5 not working. I don't know what this is. That's weird to me. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but what I will say is there's like a heating issue with 2K26 on the PlayStation 5 Slim that I don't see much people talking about it as far as video wise on YouTube. I would say that when I looked up the problem, because again, I'm going through that issue myself with the PlayStation Slim, it plays any other game. Black Ops. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadow. Played like 6 hours today. Me and my brother, right? Any other game, really, I don't have this issue. But for whatever reason, when you put the game on, the NBA 2K game, and you put it on, and you're playing maybe, so my example is, usually I get 1 or 2 theater mode games in. It's just me, one-on-one, single player theater mode. And I get through the first game and the fan kicks up and it says, your PlayStation too hot. Mind you, I could have had the PlayStation off all day. And for whatever reason, the next time that I get into a 1v1 match, I play through the whole match. Mind you, and the match is going, there's no problems, no stuttering, got no issues. As soon as the match ends, the fan kicks up, PlayStation turned completely off. Now I know what y'all gonna say. Did you clean it? It sounds like it's dusty. I took it apart, left it apart for 3 or 4 days, cleaned it up, put it back together, same thing. Lag switching, I heard they fixed it. We'll see. I give it about a week and then I'll say, okay, they fixed it. But with the way the developers work with these devices and things like that, it only takes about 3 to 4 days before they figure something out. So to me, between the fact that you can't play it on the PlayStation 5 Slim, which is what I have, could play any other game for hours. You got cheaters, you got hackers, cheaters, you got lag switching. It's just too much. And I bought the game because I wanted to play basketball. I like basketball, grew up playing it, I enjoy it. And when it comes down to it, with all the problems that it has, you pay $150 and then it doesn't work. It's crazy. And do they say anything about it? They don't. and I'm a small fish in a big pond, so they're not going to see my puddles. You know what I mean? So yeah, with that being said, 2K, I don't know if I'm buying your game next year because, again, it didn't work on a PlayStation 5 Slim, not a PS4, not a PC on low settings. I'm talking about a PlayStation 5 Slim, which I feel like should work. Look right here, return the PS5 Slim after 1 week, which is crazy because I don't think this is a problem. I legitimately play with my PlayStation all the time. Right now it's on rest mode because I'll turn it on later and play some more. Right? So I think certain people ain't cleaning it out. I get that. I've cleaned mine out. I bought the air blower fan for it. Plays all my other games fine. NBA 2K. I took it out of, like, I uninstalled it. I played a bunch of other games for weeks, and then the update for season 5 came out, or whatever the last season is, and I played 2 games, literally 2 games, and the PlayStation shut off, and I just uninstalled it because, like, why? And I took people's money because that had to be known somewhere, right? Because the thing is that when it shuts off the whole PlayStation, you don't get that report that you could send out, like, oh, send this to PlayStation or whatever, and they can look at it and go, okay, this is a problem, let's fix it. The whole PlayStation turns off and reboots. So you're not getting that. And if your creators, 2K, whatever, they're not reading none of this, or they don't care because they made their money, what's the point, right? But I want to say it because it's something that needs to be said. Like, y'all need to fix your game because you're making people pay $100 for VC to build up a character. First of all, I don't do that. I play free to play. I grind my character, and that's that. But when I can, and that was even hard to do because, again, like I told you, I don't know what they did. It don't work. Right now, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadow and Mafia 3, so I can play Mafia Old Country. I'm about to get into Division and waiting for the Fortnite new season update to see how that is, but I didn't like last season, so I didn't play it. I wanted to look at the Mortal Kombat trailer because I heard it's hype, so we'll do that. And then I'm getting one more thing, and then we'll call it a night. But I'll be back tomorrow with some more stuff to check out. We got let's look at this here. So YouTube, we're gonna check out the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer, see how it is, get my little perspective, see how it is. Check it out.
Uno mas, thanks.
You're Johnny Cage. I loved Citizen Cage when I was a kid.
Okay, so real quick, you can tell by the gray on my face, I'm old. So the original character, or the original person that wanted to play this, I believe, was Jean-Claude Van Damme, or the character is supposed to be like an homage to him. So seeing somebody else pick up the, like, be Johnny Cage is pretty cool.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
They should do a reboot.
Nobody wants that. Shit went out in the 90s.
Johnny Cage, you have been chosen to fight.
Tell me you're not some crazy fans. How are you doing that?
Are you coming or what?
They doing their thing with them costumes, I'm telling you. It's like the classic costumes, they're looking good.
Where the hell am I?
It's called Mortal Kombat. fighting tournament. To the death.
Fuck that.
I will say this. I hope that I'm a big martial arts fan. Watched martial arts my whole life. So I hope they kind of spark some new martial arts movie coming out. I would love that.
This is a war for the fate of your world.
You dickheads in or what?
I'm not some champion. I don't have transformer arms. Or shoot lightning bolts. This shit's got nothing to do with me. I'm an actor.
I like the way it looks. Like the set designs, they look good.
I find you annoying.
Not the face.
All right, he pulled that off. That's good. Okay.
It's time to become the hero you were meant to be.
All right, you big ugly fuck. It's showtime.
This thing gonna be so good. So good.
Get over here!
Only the strong
That's so clean, chat.
Freeze him!
Are you shitting me? You don't have any powers?
Just incredibly handsome.
They killed that.
Knock, knock, Capital One Bank guy.
They killed that trailer. There was one more thing I wanted to check out before we check out. Feel me? So just give me a second. So I did see, that's what I want to talk about real quick and see if we find something about it. Unity, no. This. I know there was an update, they did like a update recently for Unity. So if y'all didn't know that, now you know it. But it was Black Flag. Black Flag, yeah. Oh, there it was. So that's what it called. It's right. It's like resynced. Okay, wow. I was not trying to do that. Here we go, back here. Black Flag remake. That's a creative. Alright, so I don't really want to go through like somebody else in video for the second time right now. So, but as you can see, they do got some Black Flag confirmation going on, and as more detail come out, I'll probably give it till Friday, do some more research and see what we got. Well, I will react to somebody's video about it if I can't find enough info. But so far, they got a good set of info going on with the new Assassin's Creed Black Flag resync. So hopefully that comes out good, because I did play Black Flag. I have it on the Switch. I think I have it on the PlayStation, but if I don't, I'll probably pick it up because it is a good game. Right now I'm playing through Shadows, so I want to finish that first and then see what's next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for spending your evening or your morning with me. This your daily plug. If you liked it, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Trying to get to my next goal, which is 100 subscribers, I believe. So I'm trying to do that. And I'm back tomorrow with some new things. We'll probably look at Marathon I want Marathon. There's a new House of the Dragon season 3 trailer I want to check out, and let's see what else we get into tomorrow night. But until tomorrow, have a good night.